Hey YouTube, it's Southern Purple 1. Yesterday, the Ukrainian-Russia problem has dragged into its over 6 weeks. Yesterday, Ukrainian helicopter 24, that is like an attack helicopter, penetrated Russian airspace. Two reports. One article said 21 miles and the other said 40. So I don't know if the town is 21 miles, but the actual fuel depot they attacked was 40. But they did penetrate into Russian territory, two of their helicopters, and fired rockets at a fuel depot, setting it on fire. I don't know how much damage was done. That's can only be determined later. But that's important to also determine, if you attack something, what's your battle damage assessment? What did you do to the target? So I'm eager to see how much was actually destroyed, if it was a limited amount of destruction, or if they really crippled the fuel depot. So that shows that Ukraine still has somewhat of offensive capability, but it's very limited. Now, some people are saying this is a false flag, so Russia can say, well, now we're going to attack more and bomb more and destroy more. Why would you take care of some natural resources that are vital for your war effort? I could see him, if you wanted good publicity, to attack a apartment building or something and show Russian citizens being killed. Now that would be better for the cameras if you're into that kind of stuff. So I'm glad it wasn't that. So did Ukraine do it or did Russia do it? I have no idea. There are so many lies coming out of that area on both sides. All I know is something got destroyed, and that's evidence of all of the videos that have come out. Russia is saying they would like to pull back a little bit, and that's what they look like they're doing, repositioning some of their troops. Now, why are they doing that? Are they repositioning their troops further back so they can reorganize because they've come to a standstill? Or are they going to pull back and go to another area and try to take and hold other ground that's more important to them if they are at this standstill? And it's hard to determine. Western media says they are. Russia says they're not. I know I hear a lot about supply problems, getting supplies to the front, so maybe they need to pull back and wait till they get more supplies. If they do this pullback, I've been involved in reorganizing on the battlefield, and it all has to happen at once. You have to have a lot of command and control assets there. You have to have a lot of logistical to how are you going to move troops back? Do they have the means to move back and reposition on their own, or do you need to supply them with equipment, with trucks? So what could happen is Russian soldiers could get cut off if they don't act when they're supposed to and pull back. They can be definitely cut off from being able to withdraw. If Ukraine immediately pulls forward, they could catch some Russian soldiers and they could cut off their retreat paths. So it's not as easy as they say, oh, okay, we're going to reposition, we're going to pull back. It has to be done coordinated across the whole battlefield. So one unit is not out there by itself or lose the ability, the avenues of withdrawal are cut off by the Ukrainians. So we'll see what happens. Are they going to do that and try to go take some other property because they're at a standstill and they say, well, we'll grab all this and then we can hold this? Don't know. The other thing that's floating in the back of my mind is let's pull our troops back and use a tactical nuke. One tactical nuke into the city could definitely end the war quickly. Now, would it spark NATO getting involved? If it's not an attack against NATO, it might not. We might just accept it as damage of war, and Ukraine might give up. But then you have the whole thing of, are all of them going to give up, or is it going to turn into more of a guerrilla warfare? Then the Russians, if they can't even maintain their troop supplies and their logisticals, how are they going to take over the civil affairs of the areas they take over? And will the guerrilla warfare be just as bad as what they have now? So there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I definitely don't have the answers, but I'm eager to see if their withdrawal is organized, if it's planned, if it's coordinated, and it's across the whole battlefield, their whole engagement area. If it is, that means they're command and control is working properly. If video comes out and there's segments of Russian soldiers being captured all along the front because they couldn't get it coordinated at the same time, or they didn't have the logistical means like the trucks to physically pull them back, I'm also eager to see what type of equipment they leave. If they leave equipment, or if they sabotage and blow up and destroy their equipment that they can't pull back. So I'm eager to see that. As a military guy, I want to see what's going on the front. But what this is doing, if Putin is actually weaker than we think, this is going to push him in the corner where he's going to use more drastic measures, be it chemical, biological. I don't think he'll use those weapons. Going into the nuke, tactical nukes are authorized by Russian doctrine to be used. He might use that. Or he might just step up a bombing campaign of carpet bombing everything, total destruction. And that's why he wants his troops out of there. Only time will tell. It's almost to the point where we wish I could get a winner. Russia wins, the war ends. But the war will never end. They'll still fight. They'll fight on in guerrilla tactics. So there's no real answer to the problem. All I know is that we're continuing to throw US dollars at the problem. Dollars we don't have. Dollars that are being printed out of thin air, which is causing us in the America, will cause us more inflation. So there's no good answers. Maybe in life, a good answer would be for us to keep our nose out of all these people's business. As I look back, as I served in the military, I look back at countries that we invaded, and I'm trying to justify that in my head with what Russia did to Ukraine. I can understand Russia feeling very threatened with NATO moving right onto their border. We attacked countries that aren't even on our border. We attacked them for reasons, many reasons. In some countries we went into, I don't even know the reason. But as I look back on what I did for Uncle Sam, I'm like trying to say what we did was maybe wrong, totally wrong. I mean, I can't justify going into Iraq. Did they have weapons of mass destruction? No, they did not have weapons of mass destruction. And to be honest with you, if we're allowed to have nuclear weapons, who are we to say other countries cannot have nuclear weapons? That's hypocritical. So in that scheme, I cannot find justification for Iraq, for Afghanistan. We totally destabilized Libya. We destabilized Syria. We are a destabilizing force. We say we're bringing the flag and we're bringing stability. We're bringing, I don't know what we bring. All we bring is misery to the people, because I've seen the misery, especially, Iraq, the misery of average civilians that lost their ability to make money. Their livelihoods were destroyed. They had the lack of food. Before we went in there, they had food. Yes, not as plentiful as what some people need. But after we went in there, a lot of things were messed up. And that's verifiable because I was there. I saw it. I saw the hunger. I saw them fighting over my trash. I saw them looting. And they were looting for what purpose? Because they had nothing. And we destroyed the economy. So this isn't America is bad video. That's for sure not. But we have to be, as a country, able to recognize that when we do wrong, we need to stop doing it. We need to correct it as much as we can. So really, we need to keep our nose out of other people's business. That would probably help. We are not the policemen of the world. We aren't the final moral authority of the world. We should be concentrating on our borders. We should be concentrating on our citizens that some are overtaxed beyond human comprehension. We should be concentrating on elderly people that can't get enough food, or they have to pick between eating properly or getting their medicine. And I've talked to these people. They actually say, Dave, I might have to go without food so I can get my medicine, or I might have to go without electric to make sure I have medicine. They're on very fixed incomes. And the US dollar is being collapsed on purpose. It is because of politicians. It is because of men and women that have no moral compass, that believe it is okay to spend money. They believe it's okay to take from person A to give the person B. I'm all on helping person B. Our system's set up for generational welfare system. Generational. Gramps teaches the kids teach the other kids, and it goes on and on how to play the system. I have no idea how I got from Russia to Ukraine to welfare. Maybe there's lots of problems that we as a country need to solve. And I don't think we can solve them with our leadership, be it Republicans, be it Democrats. They're a bunch of crooks. A bunch of evil people that don't have our best interest. Pray for our country. Do what you can to help others. That's all we can ask. Thanks for watching.